back to Winnie Makes. My name is Callie, and today I'm so excited to share with you the most moist and fluffy and soft and chocolatey chocolate cupcakes that you have ever had. This recipe is incredibly easy, it's so delicious, and I can't wait to share it with you. But before we begin, as always, please remember to subscribe, like, share, chat in the comment section, and follow me on social media for more recipes and additional content. So let's get into it. The ingredients that we're going to be using are some brown sugar, granulated sugar, all-purpose flour, baking soda, a little bit of instant coffee or espresso powder, and some cocoa powder. I have a couple of eggs, 1 egg yolk, vanilla, canola or vegetable oil, salt, buttermilk, and that is it for now. And we're going to have a really delicious frosting that we will go over the ingredients for that later. So let's do this thing. First things first, get your oven nice and preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Get that nice and hot and ready to roll. And first things first, let's get together all of our dry ingredients. So I'm just adding my salt. I love adding that coffee or espresso powder. It really just gives these cupcakes an extra depth of flavor and really just enhances the chocolatiness in them. So it's optional, but highly, highly recommended. So I'm just gonna give this a whisk until all the ingredients are nice and combined. Okay, perfect. So let's set this aside momentarily and get our wet ingredients all together. So that includes both types of sugar. Into this, I'm gonna add in my eggs and my egg yolk. That egg yolk adds a little bit of extra richness to these, which is welcome, of course. And so next, I'm just gonna give this a whisk to combine. Okay, this is looking great. So to this, we're gonna throw in our neutral oil, and you know that these cupcakes are gonna be incredibly moist and fluffy by the ingredients that are in them. The oil, the buttermilk, both of those are just gonna add so much moisture to this dish, more so than even adding butter would, which is the reason why I'm adding the oil, and they're just gonna be completely out of this world. You're gonna love them. Okay, so next up, let's add in our vanilla along with our dry ingredients and our buttermilk. Okay, this is looking absolutely wonderful. But before we finish this up, I'm gonna take my spatula and run it around the bottom and the sides of the bowl just to ensure everything is nice and well incorporated and homogeneous. And remember, do not overmix. If you overmix the batter, you overwork the flour, therefore you overwork the gluten, and then you're gonna get a really tough cupcake. So make sure not to do that. Okay, I'm gonna clean up and I'm gonna go grab my muffin pan and then let's finish this up. Okay, so here I have a muffin pan, cupcake pan, whatever you want to call it, that I've just generously greased with some non-stick spray, lined with some cupcake liners. And so all we're gonna do is fill them up about 3/4 of the way full. You don't want to fill these all the way up to the top because they're gonna expand in the oven. We're just gonna line each of these. I'm using a cookie scoop. I just think it's the easiest way to transfer the batter into the pan, but a spoon will do the job. And once I'm finished filling these, we're gonna pop these into the 350 degree Fahrenheit oven for, I would say, 18 to 22 minutes. You'll know when they're finished baking when a skewer or a knife inserted into the center of the cupcake comes out clean or with a few crumbs. So I'm gonna finish lining these and then we're gonna work on frosting. Okay, so my cupcakes baked for exactly 20 minutes. They're just about cold right now, which is what you want. You want these to cool completely before you add the frosting. Otherwise, the frosting is just gonna kind of melt. So I'm gonna set these aside momentarily. And for the frosting, you can't really see it under this big bowl, but I have a couple sticks of softened, unsalted butter. You want it really, really nice and soft, not melted. And I also have some confectioner sugar, a little bit of salt, some cocoa powder. I'm gonna add some vanilla. So I'm going to whisk this until it is nice and cool, and then we will continue. Okay, so this is finished. It is so good. Oh my goodness. Okay, so what we're gonna do next is I'm gonna show you just an easy way to pipe the cupcakes with the frosting. Again, this is completely optional. You could just spread the frosting onto the cupcakes and it'll obviously taste exactly the same. And so what I have here, I guess I should show you this first, is just a quart bag or any large bag, and I have a piping tip. You don't even need the piping tip. All you could do is just cut off the tip of the bag and then just do the same process that I'm about to do right now. But I have the cupcake piping tip, so that's what I'm gonna use. And so you just put it into the corner of the bag, push the piping tip to the bottom like so, and then just get a tall glass, push this down, fold it over a little bit. Now we're just gonna add the frosting, and you might not wanna add all of the frosting at once. My piping tip fell out. If you feel like it's gonna kind of overflow the bag, you could just do that, do this in batches. But I'm obviously gonna try to fit as much of it as I can, just to kind of save time. So, whoopsies, let's add in this frosting. Okay, so I still have some frosting left, but I really don't want to overflow the bag or else it gets kind of a little messy. So I'm gonna try to avoid that. So I have my cupcakes here. All I'm gonna do now is pull the bag out. Then you wanna kind of bundle it at the top and squeeze just a little bit, kind of pull some of the frosting down. The more air pockets you have, the more disruptions you're gonna get while you try to pipe this. So I like kind of testing a little bit of this just to make sure it comes out smooth. I'm just squeezing at the top of the bag, and it did. So this is how you pipe it, the cupcakes. This is one way to pipe the cupcakes at least. What we're gonna do here is you wanna start at the exterior of the cupcake, and you wanna squeeze the whole time and just kind of make a ring around the outside, and then just make your way all the way around until you reach the center, and then I kind of pull the tip up at the end. It's that easy. Look how cute that is. So I'm gonna keep doing this. I'll show you another one. Just gonna make a circle around the outside, work your way towards the center, and that's it. So what's gonna happen next is I'm gonna continue piping these cupcakes, and then I'm gonna give you a close-up of just how moist and fluffy and delicious these cupcakes really are. Okay, so I hope you love these cupcakes. I'm so confident that you will. They're moist and fluffy and chocolatey and just everything that you want in the perfect chocolate cupcake. So, as always, for the full written recipe and instructions, head to my blog, moodymix.com. I'll put the link for that in the description box below. Click on the link, the recipe will pop right up, and make these chocolate cupcakes. I promise you're gonna love them, and let me know what you think because I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.